If you're watching this, you probably want to improve at Rocket League, but maybe you're not quite sure why you're not getting the results you want. I'm here to give you some straightforward, honest advice that's going to help you rank up. And the good news is that most of the things holding you back are fixable, but they require a mindset shift and some focus on the right areas. So let's dive into what might be slowing your progress and how you can turn things around. Now, I get it. No one likes being told they're making mistakes, but the good news is that we're all here to improve, right? And recognizing where you can make changes is the first step in becoming a better player. Whether it's mechanics, positioning, teamwork, or even your mindset, there's always room for improvement. And today, I'm going to help you identify where you might be going wrong and how to fix it. The goal here isn't to make you feel bad about your gameplay. It's to give you the tools you need to improve and enjoy the game even more. And by the end of this video, you'll have a clearer understanding of the things you can work on, and you'll be ready to jump into your next match with more confidence. So let's get into it and stick around till the end, because we're covering a lot of important ground that's going to really help you out. All right, first things first, mechanics. This is the core of Rocket League gameplay. Your ability to control your car, hit the ball, execute plays. It's really easy to assume that if you're not ranking up, it's because you're not fast enough or your aerials aren't flashy enough. But the reality is a lot of players overlook some of the fundamental mechanics that are holding them back. Let's break down a few common mechanical challenges that you might be facing, and more importantly, how you can overcome them. Number one, ball control is actually way tougher than it looks, but practice makes perfect. One of the biggest challenges, especially for newer players or players in lower ranks, is controlling the ball consistently. And you might think, oh, I just need to hit the ball as hard as I can. But in Rocket League, controlling the ball is way more important than just banging it around the field. If you're having trouble keeping the ball close to your car while dribbling, or you find yourself whiffing shots that seem relatively easy, you're not alone. It's actually a really common issue. And to improve your ball control, the first thing you need to do is spend time in free play. Seriously? Yeah, free play. It's one of the most underused tools for improving mechanics. Start by driving around with the ball on top of your car, and don't worry about scoring or even shooting at first. Just focus on keeping the ball close and under control. As you get more comfortable, you can work on dribbling faster, adding flicks, and making quicker movements. That is something that takes time, so be patient. The more you practice, the better you'll get at controlling the ball in actual matches, which will lead to more consistent plays and better chances to score. Boost management is another area where players often struggle, and it's one of the more subtle aspects of the game that can really affect your performance. Boost is a resource, and if you're burning through it like there's an endless supply, you're going to find yourself in really tough spots when you need it most. A lot of players use way too much boost when it's not even necessary, like boosting full speed across the field when they don't need to, or wasting it to chase a ball that's too far away to reach in time anyways. And one tip to improve your boost management is to learn how to feather your boost. Instead of holding the boost button down constantly, try tapping it lightly as you move. This helps you maintain speed without draining your boost meter completely. Another important thing to remember is that small boost pads are your friends. You don't always need to go for the big 100 boost pads. Picking up a few small pads along the way can keep you topped up and ready to make that next play. Aerials are one of the defining skills in Rocket League. And what I mean by that is they can be really intimidating for newer players. And if you're struggling with aerials, the good news is that you're not alone. This is one of the most challenging mechanics to master, but with practice, anyone can get better at them. And one of the most common mistakes players make is going for aerials they're not quite ready for. Just because the ball is in the air doesn't mean you need to jump for it every time. If you're not confident in your ability to hit the ball cleanly, sometimes staying grounded is the better option. When you're ready to practice aerials, start simple. Just go into free play, or you can even use an aerial training pack to get used to jumping and boosting at the same time. Focus on hitting the ball with control rather than just flinging yourself at it. Over time, you'll get better at judging when to go for an aerial and when to hold back. The key here is consistency. Don't worry about pulling off flashy aerial goals just yet. Work on making solid, really reliable contact with the ball, and you'll see your aerial play improve. Focus on mastering the basics before trying advanced mechanics. It's easy to get caught up in wanting to do the really cool looking stuff like flip resets, air dribbles, ceiling shots, but the truth is, those advanced mechanics won't help you much if you're still struggling with the fundamentals. Before you start focusing on the flashy plays, make sure you've mastered the basics, hitting consistent shots, making good clears, and controlling the ball in different situations. These are skills that will win you games. Once you've got a solid foundation, then you can start working on the advanced mechanics, and trust me, they'll be much easier to learn once you've got the fundamentals down. Remember, improving your mechanics is a really long-term progress. It doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep practicing, to stay patient, and to focus on consistency. Every little improvement adds up, and over time, you'll notice a big difference in your gameplay. Now that we've covered mechanics, let's talk about one of the most important aspects of Rocket League that often gets overlooked, and that's positioning. Even if you've got great mechanics, if you're constantly out of position, you're going to struggle to make effective plays. Good positioning is all about understanding where you need to be on the field at any given time and how to position yourself relative to your teammate and the ball. Let's break down a few key tips that will help you improve your positioning. Number 1, don't chase the ball. Be strategic about where you are. One of the most common mistakes players make, especially in the lower ranks, is ball chasing. And this means following the ball around the field without really thinking about where you should be. It's natural to want to be near the ball, but good Rocket League players know that sometimes the best play is to hang out and let the play develop. Instead of chasing the ball, think about where you need to be to support your teammates and make the next play. Are you covering a potential pass? Are you in position to rotate back if your team loses possession? By thinking about your positioning rather than just reacting to the ball, you'll start to see more opportunities to make plays. Number 2, rotations, a game changer for team success. Rotations are one of the most important concepts in Rocket League, and they're key to keeping your team balanced. Proper rotations ensure that your team is always in the right place at the right time. Whether you're on offense or defense, if you're not rotating properly, you're leaving gaps in your team's defense, which can lead to easy goals for the other team. So how do you rotate effectively? It's all about moving with the flow of the game. If you've just taken a shot, rotate back to defense instead of lingering in the opponent's half. If you're on defense and make a save, rotate out and let your teammates take over. Good rotations are about making sure there's always someone in position to cover every part of the field. If you're playing threes, think of it as a triangle. You want one player challenging the ball, one player supporting that challenge, and then one player covering the back. By rotating properly, you're helping your team maintain structure, and you're also helping your team avoid leaving your goal open. Number 3, avoid sitting in the goal. It's tempting to sit in the goal when you're on defense, especially if you're not confident in your ability to make saves, but sitting in the goal can actually make it harder to defend effectively. Instead of camping out on the goal line, try positioning yourself just outside the box or on the back wall. This way, you can challenge the ball earlier, you can cut off angles, and you can actually make it harder for the other team to score because you're covering more angles. By being proactive on defense, you'll be able to make better saves and prevent the ball from getting into dangerous areas in the first place. Number 4, offense-defense balance. Don't overcommit. Rocket League is a fast-paced game, and it's really easy to get caught up in the excitement of trying to score goals. But if you're overcommitting to offense, you're leaving your team exposed to counterattacks. It's important to find balance between pushing forward and being ready to rotate back on defense. If you've pushed up for a shot, make sure you're ready to rotate back in case your team loses possession. This balance between offense and defense is crucial to maintaining control of the game. Number 4, mindset and attitude. Now that we've covered some of the core gameplay aspects like mechanics and positioning, let's take a step back and talk about your mindset. Rocket League can be a really challenging game, and it's easy to get frustrated or discouraged when things aren't going your way. But having the right mindset is just as important as having good mechanics. In fact, your attitude towards the game can actually have a huge impact on how quickly you improve. Let's go over a few key tips to help you maintain a positive, growth-oriented mindset while you're on your Rocket League journey. Number 1, don't be too hard on yourself because it's all part of the process. It's really easy to get down on yourself when you're not playing as well as you'd like to, or you're having an off day. But improvement in Rocket League doesn't happen overnight. Every player, even the pros, had to go through a learning process to get where they are. If you find yourself making mistakes, instead of getting frustrated, try to look at each mistake as a learning opportunity. What could you have done differently? How can you improve in that situation next time? This shift in mindset from focusing on mistakes to now focusing on focusing on mistakes to now focusing on improvement can make a huge difference in how quickly you progress. Another common pitfall is blaming your teammates when things go wrong. And I do this too, so you're not alone here, but it's so easy to point fingers and think that if only your teammate had made the right play, you would have won. But the truth is, focusing on what your teammates are doing wrong isn't going to help you improve at all. Instead, try to focus on what you can control. How can you position better to support your team? How can you make smarter plays that help your team succeed, even if your teammates aren't playing perfectly? This mindset shift will not only make you a better player, but it will also make your games way more enjoyable. Rocket League is a game of skill, and like any skill, it takes time to develop. You're not going to go from silver to grand champ in a week, and that's okay. Improvement comes in small steps, and it's important to be patient with yourself along the way. Celebrate the little victories, whether it's hitting a difficult shot, making a great save, or just feeling more confident in your gameplay. The more you focus on the progress you're making rather than the rank you're at, the more motivated you'll be to keep improving. Rocket League is at its core a team game, and understanding how to work with your teammates is crucial to success. Whether you're playing with friends or random players in solo queue, teamwork can make a huge difference in how your games go. Let's break down a few key elements of teamwork and communication that can help you become a better team player and win more games. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you need to do everything yourself to win. Maybe you've had a few bad games with teammates who missed easy saves, or maybe they overcommitted to plays, and now you feel like the only way to win is to take matters into your own hands. But Rocket League is a team game for a reason. When you work together with your teammates, you can create plays and opportunities that wouldn't be possible on your own. Instead of trying to make every play yourself, look for ways to involve your teammates. Pass the ball when they're in a better position than you. Rotate out when you're not needed on offense. And trust that they'll do their part. It won't always work perfectly, but in the long run, playing as a team will lead to more consistent success than trying to play like you're alone and you don't have a teammate. Communication is one of the most important aspects of teamwork. And even if you're not using voice chat, the in-game quick chat commands can go a really long way. Simple messages like I got it, or take this shot, or even defending can help your team stay on the same page and avoid confusion and double commits. It's also important to use quick chat constructively. No one improves by seeing what a save, obviously don't do that, but focus on positive, helpful communication and you'll find that your games go much more smoothly. One of the most important parts of teamwork is being aware of where your teammates are on the field. If you're constantly going for the ball when your teammate is already in a better position to make a play, you're not only wasting boost, but you're also crowding the field and clumping up and potentially messing up the play. Take a second to look around before you commit to a challenge or a shot. Sometimes the best move is to rotate out and let your teammate handle it. Being aware of your teammate's positioning will lead to fewer double commits and smoother gameplay overall. Finally, let's talk about decision making and game awareness. In Rocket League, being able to make smart decisions on the fly is one of the most important skills you can develop. Whether you're deciding when to challenge the ball or when to rotate back or when to push forward, making the right call can be the difference between winning and losing. Let's go over a few key aspects of decision making that will help you improve your game sense and make better choices on the field. One of the most challenging aspects of Rocket League decision making is knowing when to challenge the ball. If you're constantly rushing into challenge, you might find yourself out of position and giving up easy goals. The key is to be patient and wait for the right moment. If you're the last player back, or if your teammate is already in a better position to challenge, it's often better to hold off and wait for the play to develop. On the other hand, if you're confident that you can win the challenge cleanly, don't be afraid to go for it. It's all about finding the right balance between being aggressive and being smart. Every game of Rocket League is different, and one of the best ways to improve your decision making is to pay attention to how your opponents are playing. Are they aggressive? Are they constantly pushing forward? Or are they more defensive, waiting for you to make a mistake? Understanding your opponent's play style can help you make smarter decisions throughout the game. For example, if you notice that one of your opponents is overcommitting on every play, you can take advantage of that by counteracting quickly. Adapting to your opponent's tendencies is a key part of improving your overall game awareness. In Rocket League, it's easy to fall into the trap of reacting to the ball rather than anticipating where it's going. But the best players are always thinking one step ahead. Instead of focusing solely on where the ball is right now, try to think about where it's going next. Position yourself accordingly so that when the ball moves, you're already in the right spot to make the play. This kind of proactive thinking will help you stay ahead of your opponents and make better decisions throughout the game. When the ball is near your goal, it's easy to panic and make a rushed decision. But staying calm under pressure is one of the most important skills you can develop as a Rocket League player. Instead of rushing to clear the ball as soon as it comes near you, take a moment to assess the situation. Can you make a better touch to control the ball rather than just hitting it away? Is there a teammate you can pass to instead of panicking? The more you practice staying calm in high pressure situations, the more confident you'll become in your ability to make the right play. And that's a wrap. We've covered a lot of ground today, from mechanics to positioning, mindset, teamwork, and decision making. Hopefully you're walking away from this video with at least a better understanding of what you can work on to improve your Rocket League gameplay. And remember, improvement doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, and every game is an opportunity to learn and to grow as a player. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's that every little improvement matters. Whether it's getting better at controlling the ball, rotating more effectively, or making smarter decisions under pressure, all of these small changes add up over time. So don't get discouraged if you're not seeing immediate results. Keep practicing, stay patient, and focus on making progress one step at a time. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Rocket League tips. If you guys want to contact me directly, the best way to go about that is joining my Discord server. I'll have a link for that in the description of this video. See you on the next one. Peace.